Hi, Paul James again, talking about IrriGRAY, and this video is about the self-cleaning filter control settings. When IrriGRAY is first installed, you must select which filter is installed on the system. There are two options, the low-cost Twist-to-Clean filter and the Water Renew disc filter. You might ask, how do you know which one is which? Well, you could refer to your installation guide provided with the system. There are clear diagrams to choose from. And for now, I'm going to show you those pages out of the guide. Now, rather than just saying this is the Twist-to-Clean filter, I'm also going to explain how this filter works. Grey water comes in from the right-hand side and is represented by the purple lines here. So it comes up from the pumping basin, through the filter, down the left-hand side through the water meter, and then goes out to our irrigation zones. When IrriGRAY determines that the filter needs to be cleaned, and I'll discuss that in a few moments, when it needs to be cleaned, the motor turns here, and the bracket turns around 90 degrees and changes the flow of the water. Instead of coming in from the right-hand side and going to the left-hand side, it actually comes in from the right-hand side and comes out the bottom of the filter. So when a cleaning process happens, first thing it does is turn that handle. It takes about 20 seconds. Then potable water under pressure comes in from the right-hand side through the solenoid valve, comes into the filter, goes in backwards, and pushes all of the rubbish off the screen and down out the bottom. When the filter has finished cleaning, it then turns the handle back to the normal position. And I will erase that circle now. At the end of the day, if there wasn't enough grey water, then makeup water is supplied. Now on this filter, the makeup water supply valve is at the top. This is to make sure that if the filter is a little partially dirty, instead of applying 40 pounds per square inch or more of makeup water pressure to the filter and cramming everything on, this makeup water bypasses the filter. You can follow the green line, comes across the top, down the left-hand side and through the water meter. Now, there is a setting in the filter control panel which asks you whether you want to use single pressure measurement or differential pressure measurement. We don't recommend changing these settings unless you have a real need to do it, but I'll give you a brief explanation of how it works. When a filter is clean, water passes through it really easily. Now, your drip line zones are probably empty of water, they're just full of air. So it may need 5 gallons of water, perhaps a little less, to expel all of the air and for the irrigation zone to come up to pressure. So normally that would happen within 20 seconds. Everything comes up to pressure. Now if the filter is dirty, the water takes longer to get through the filter, so instead of taking 20 seconds to get to pressure, it might now take 40 seconds to get to pressure. That increase in time to get to correct operational pressure is how we determine when the filter needs to be cleaned. Now, differential pressure, it means reading the pressure in two locations, one here on the right and one here on the left. But in all of our years of testing, we've found that differential pressure is not a great solution for low pressure grey water pumps. Therefore, we recommend the single pressure method, which relies on the pressure sensor on the left-hand side. We still use the pressure sensor on the right-hand side as a safety check. Basically, if we have pressure on the right-hand side and not on the left-hand side, then we may have an issue. And that raises a bit of a red flag in our system. Our support people look at that, and then we'll get in touch with you if necessary. Looking at the Water Renew disc filter, same concept except there are no moving parts other than the valves themselves. Grey water following the purple line coming from the pumping basin is coming up this leg to the right, around, through the filter, and then back down through the water meter to our zones. When the filter needs cleaning, instead of moving the position of the filter, we simply reverse the flow. This forces the discs or rings inside the filter to separate and are quickly cleaned by a water supply that needs to be at least 20 pounds per square inch. This is a benefit of this filter. The Twist Clean filter needs 40 pounds per square inch minimum pressure to clean. But when this happens, this valve is opened. This is our alternate water supply valve. But in addition, this valve is opened. This allows water to flow coming from the left in the light blue color through the valve, backwards through the filter, separates the rings and pushes all of the rubbish out of the filter itself, comes out on the right hand side through this now open valve and goes to waste. Erase those circles. Makeup water is similar in the sense that it doesn't pass through the filter. It simply, go back to a cursor, comes in from our alternate supply, through the valve and straight out through the meter again. So looking back at our settings page, you need to select the correct filter, and I'm going to leave it at the Water Renew disc filter for now. There are some default cleaning periods such that if the filter, and it's explained down here, it needs to be cleaned at least every X days. It's normally set to 7 days. This is the start time for that, and 3 o'clock is a very reasonable time for it. Otherwise, the filter is cleaned as it needs to be. We default to single pressure measurement, and we're saying if the pressure stays below 4 pounds per square inch for more than 30 seconds while the pump is on, then it needs to be cleaned because the irrigation zone did not come up to pressure quickly enough. This control says how much water should be used to clean the filter, and 10 seconds is a good average value. These settings help the system to know when the pump is on or when the pump is stopped. And we also have the ability to change the reading of the pressure sensor. As I said earlier, you don't really need to change these advanced settings yourselves. Leave that to the experts at Water Renew. We do monitor filters to see how often they clean, and we do fine-tune them when necessary. Thanks for your time.